Good evening, or
Hello.
good morning, maybe. I'm going to start off with what I was going to end with, just in case it gets too hectic.
Hold on a second. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
What I put this on the agenda for is that I know the city has to comment on the 2014 grand jury report. I've written a letter critical of it, and I believe before the city makes its comment, it should agendize the item and allow a public discussion of the report. And the reason why is this. I got interested in this because I saw letters to the editor and editorials recently that said the grand jury has determined that the liberals on the city council and the prior city management has caused the city to almost go into bankruptcy, and it's in the grand jury report. And I thought, that's a pretty strong statement. So I went and I read the report, and as I started reading it, it started looking like it was an incredibly slanted and biased document, not hardly what I would call an objective investigation. But I didn't have time to really do a lot of analysis because I was heading out on vacation. So when I read the report, then since it started off referring to the 2013 report as if it's a continuation of that, I read the 2013 report. And the most obvious thing that came out of that report was not necessarily a concluding statement, but a statement that the grand jury was upset that Brian Nakamura, the city manager, had essentially misled them, provided them bad information, what I would actually call he actually lied to them about the city financial situation.
Yeah, actually, I was referencing the previous city manager, but yes.
No.
It did say that.
It says Brian Nakamura.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Nakamura. He's the one who didn't. He's the one who they asked, what's the state of the budget?
Right, we had.
It's fine. He tells that to him.
There were false.
In the
Yeah.
report.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
That's in the report. I'm just reading it.
No, you're right.
I don't know what's underneath the table, but I'm just reading what's on top. All right, so I look at that, and then I go, okay, here's Brian Nakamura. One grand jury is saying that he just basically lied to them about an incredibly significant thing, the finances. And then I look at the 2014 report, and I'm reading it, and there's a lot of we were told and we were informed, and I'm guessing that some of that we were told or we were informed is Brian Nakamura telling the 2014 grand jury what kind of problems he was having. I'm thinking, well, I'm sorry, I can't take that. If you take a guy that testifies and it's established that he was not telling the truth, then any further testimony by that person in the relative area is incredible. So all the things in this 14 report that are not independently established, but are just look like gossip and could be coming from him, could be coming from others, but I'm sure some of it came from him, just has to be thrown out. And that's a lot of this 2014 report. So then I go, well, I'm going to read the other stuff, and I try to read the charts, and it's totally confusing. But I get to one point that says that there was some report that was shelved, and the reason why it was shelved was because it would show this big deficit. And then there's a quote under this statement that why did they hide it from the
so
city
you got to wrap, Mike. Got to wrap up. You're out of time. You got to wrap it up, please.
All right. So anyway, I look at that and I check it out, and it turns out it all comes from Mark Sorensen, and it's a total fabrication. And then I determined, well, this whole report has got to be trashed. Okay, so then I come back from vacation. I get communications from other people. There's a whole lot of people that want to comment on the substance of this grand jury report. And the reason why it's important is because people believe in grand jury's report, as they should. Mm-hmm. And when the people are saying the grand jury says these people caused the problem, they got to be educated. That isn't. Right. That this grand jury was misled, and misled by Mr. Sorensen and misled by Mr. Nakamura, and maybe others. I'm not sure. But it turns out there are other people who know who testified.
Right.
And what was testified about.
So we're required to respond. The grand jury has identified at least two parties that need to respond to the city's portion of the grand jury report. Those responses are due here lickety split. City clerk, would you like to, or city, based on that frown, maybe the city attorney? I want to explain what because we're down to a couple weeks here on this process. So we've got 2 responses coming from the city. Usually they come here before they go and get turned in. But,
That's correct. The item will be agendized for the upcoming council meeting. The council at that time will make findings pursuant to the statutory obligations set forth in the report. There will be a response. There can be a response from the city manager and from the city council. That response can be joint. It can be singular. And then the council will take action, and the document will be submitted to the grand jury.
Right, and I'm just asking that be agendized because there's a lot more people want to
so
participate.
first meeting in September.
Thank you.
But we'll be under the gun because it's due then too. So,
Right.
okay. So Stephanie Tabor, followed by Andrew Coolidge.
I'm so angry right now that I don't think I should speak. I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Okay. Thank you, Andrew Coolidge.